Hi, I'm the Tale Weaver Omar, and DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Hi, I'm Zektown, and I am the DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Zek, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the drama-fueled, anime-inspired fantasy epic Descent into the Void, right?
Yes, but Omar, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the comedy-riddled, trope-smashing fantasy epic The Natural Ones.
I guess both of them are perfect shows for a tabletop podcasting network.
It's a good thing that people can find us at ataleofd20s.com then.
Yeah, you can also find us on Twitter at A Tale of D20s. That's at ATALEOFD20S, A Tale of D20s.
And you can find each show on Twitter at The Nat Ones Cast, at THENAT1SCAST, The Nat Ones Cast, or Descent Void at DESCENTVOID, Descent Void on Twitter.
So, if you want thrilling drama,
or a side-splitting comedy, A Tale of D20s has you covered.
Greetings, Dungeon Delvers, and welcome to yet another exciting chapter of A Tale of D20's Descent into the Void, where six friends journey together to tell a story of mythic proportion.
Gather round, gather round. Let me tell you a tale of life and death, of joy and sorrow, a tale of D20s.
So without further ado, let's remove the bookmark and continue our epic tale. Last time, Liberators, you were escorted to the floating magical sanctum of Horatio's old guild, the Corporus Arcana, by one of its leaders, the Archmage Jeudy Sunfell. Horatio, like his mother before him, was accused of abandoning the Corporus, though you all needed them to allow you access to the gala where you would meet King Terminus. Also entering the conversation once you entered into the halls of his office was Jeudy's co-archmage and wife Alara Sunfell, who had been augmented to look more like an elf, as she had shown great interest in both King and Duran, revealing that she had been to the elven sanctuary on the fourth layer. The archmages decided to entertain the idea of allowing the Liberators of going into the gala under the Corporus only if Horatio would take on a gesh to bring back his mother to the Corporus, giving the Sunfell name as credit. Alara also showcased her magical prowess by performing 2 concentration spells using her arcane ward as a focus, revealing to be an abjuration wizard, and could teach Horatio this if he rejoined the Corporus. With that in agreement, you all were allowed access to the Corporus grounds, being told to stay away from labeled forbidden areas. Horatio had reached out with his arcane senses and caught a ping of chaos energy somewhere within the building. But nevertheless, you were guided by an automaton to the library where Monaco, King, and Cal wanted to do some research. You passed a suspicious room where mages seemed to be performing a ritual, but the automaton quickly shut the door and you arrived at your destination. Here, Cal found books on the High Artificer Galilea Stylion, his adoptive father, and read how he built special weapons similar to the weapons that the Demon Dancer used to defeat demons, giving them to the generals of the Unity Knights. Also, once more, his own dual pistols seem to be some type of key, a conduit that can augment the Ice Crown, Queen Camilla's ship that she had given you in some fashion. And King researched sentient weapons and rituals used to unlock their powers, trying to dig deeper into the mind of his weapon, Chastiful. After you all gathered these informations, you went back to the surface of Thelos and did some clothes shopping, and ended up at the Laughing Tavern. Here, Cal and Horatio participated in a drinking contest, which resulted in a tie. And after a wonderful performance by a band called the Rakish Rogues, Cal was charmed into giving up all of his money. Resting in one of the party rooms in the tavern, you all gathered together, sobered up, and discussed your next steps. Leaving the bar, Cal had mentioned earlier about possibly finding jobs within the many districts of Thelos in order to get you some money. So, Liberators, it is mid to late afternoon, and you walk the dustlit streets of the Light District of the Arcane Capital with the Laughing Tavern at your backs. What do you do next?
So do we want to find the dust area, King?
That would be nice. I have a few ingredients to pick up, and I think that'd be more plentiful in that area.
You just want to see all the druid stuff.
I do want to see the old temples. I'm pretty sure there must be shrines of old gods there.
And let's make our way there then.
Duran, are you coming?
If you stay, you'll blow up.
No. You'll be fine as long as you're with someone else. Although, it would be nice to have your company. And I bat my eyelashes.
Mipashkara, of course. But there is something I might want to pick up. But I'll need assistance of one of you to stop me from exploding. Just pointing his finger, like dragging across different faces, like trying to select which one of them might come with him.
Well, where do you wish to go?
I'm hoping to get something made. Something made for my weapons.
Oh, so you want to stop in the Magus District? We passed that. Oh no, sorry, I'm mistaken. I mean the Gem District. The Dust is past that, so we could accompany you and go with you. Accompany you there.
There are. It might be easier if I just travel with someone.
I can go with you, Dran.
Thank you, Wizard Horatio.
I thought you wanted to go to the temple. I mean, I could.
Oh, please, don't worry about it. It's a surprise, he says, smiling at King.
Oh, all right. So then I'll make my way to, there must be a center or a middle place of the Dust District. I'll wait for you all there.
Yeah, sounds good. We still have ways to walk till we get to the Gem District, so...
I don't think that we're going to walk there. You seem to forget that there's other means of transportation we could take.
As in time to get there, King, not that we're going to actually walk there.
Oh.
But yes, we can probably make our way to the train?
Oh, the big glass thing that went over everything else? That was fun.
Oh, the station. Yes.
And DM, does Horatio remember how to get there?
Okay, so if you're talking about the tram system, yes, your tram system actually took you directly above where you need to go. It was more like a direct route. But in looking around when you traveled here, you definitely saw where the stations were. And there were like stone platforms that people walked up and hopped onto this suspended tram going all the way across on these wire coils. So you can easily make your way back there to take it.
So Horatio would say, I believe it's this way, guys. And he'll start walking in the direction of where he remembers the tram station at.
As he travels to the tram station, though, Duran is going to keep looking out to see if there's anyone following them or keeping if anyone's trying to tail them or anything like that. Duran is going to try to keep an eye out for anything like that.
Roll a perception check, Duran.
Yay, perception check. A 24.
24. All right, you start to look behind you, and strangest thing, you think you see somebody duck into an alleyway when you look back. It's quick. You're not sure, but everyone else seems to be walking, mostly flying around here. So people on the ground are actually more conspicuous than they are in the air. So that kind of alerted you to something, but nevertheless, the person has disappeared from your sight.
We should stick close, Duran says, grabbing King's hand as they continue at least on this leg of their journey.
What's going on?
Just a hunch, Wizard Horatio.
And I say in Elven, did you see something?
It could have been something, but...
Like what? He answers in common. Come on, Duran, speak up. What did you see?
Someone may have been watching us, but I do not know who they were watching, or who it was who was watching us. Just an eye. It seemed like someone slipped away the moment I turned, which is even more worrisome.
Minako turns around.
I turn around too.
They're gone.
You all turn around and see just the occasional people walking on the ground who are going in and out of shops, but mostly just people flying above your heads. No one else.
I'll throw my hands up and I'll say, if you wish to speak to us, we're right here.
I don't see anybody.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, there's people. But...
Please don't make a scene.
Yeah,
I'm making
don't see anybody either.
And people above and below are looking at you kind of with strange looks as they walk past you. You're just lifting up your arms in the middle of the town.
Well, now I think plenty of people are looking at us.
Yeah, so if we were gonna catch somebody, now we can't. It's fine, though.
Also, now if someone were to ambush us, more eyes are on us, so we're safer.
Are we?
Get ambushed?
Let's just carry on.
Horatio would summon Hootie in front of him, like, to his back to where we were being followed from. Summon Hootie in front of him and, like, kind of just have him fly off straight out and then, like, up so that it looks like it didn't come from Horatio, and just basically hover around and fly around us to see if he catches anyone following us so that he alerts me.
Okay. You guys continue walking away, seeing Horatio snap his fingers and Hootie appearing onto his shoulder. Hootie flies off. The brief moments where you blink into his eyes to look around, he sees nothing but just everything you see, and he begins flying up above, dodging the traffic, though keeping a good distance and a good bird's eye view. You all continue walking. Hootie doesn't alert you. Doesn't seem roll me a perception check for Hootie, actually.
I rolled a 17, but it didn't roll in the box, so it didn't count.
Didn't count.
Oh, even better.
22.
22. Okay. Hootie, as you blink in and out every so often, he has a great view above everything. He sees the general town layout, the people flying by as he's dodging them back and forth, but no thing that looks like they're following you. Not after that declaration by King, anyway. You feel. But nevertheless, you continue walking down until about 20 minutes or so. You make it to a large stone building. There are staircases leading up to a little vestibule where there are seats. There are a few people sitting at them as if they're waiting for the tram to make its way as it floats on across magically between the barriers. But it hasn't arrived yet. About 5 minutes passes. You still look with Hootie, doesn't notice anything. And another 5 minutes pass. And then finally you see coming up from the last district, making its final stop, you see the tram. It's not as fancy as the one that you rode on here to get to your spot. It's much more pedestrian, though you see many fancy looking mages coming out into the light district and continuing as others are loading in there. But you all make your way onto the tram. There's no driver. Everyone takes their seat and it begins to lift up, turns around, and then continues going back in the other direction, not going towards the next district, which will be the Royal District, but heading in its way down. Okay.
We're two stops away for the Gem District, guys.
So of course, on your way down, on your way across, you do witness you do see the beautiful view of the Thelosian Empire, Thelosian City. You pass over the Magus District, and there's some glowing happening in the streets below. Lots of wizards walking around with cloaks on and their normal wizard guards, and still flying as well. Though you do see more people walking here, and then some people get off of the tram. Some people get on, and it continues heading towards until finally passing through the force field, and you will feel the viscosity of the magic. You land to your next stop, which is the Gem District, and then there is a little magical prestidigitation of the shape of a gem at the top of the tram on the inside, letting you know where you have left off. The Magus had like a little wizard's hat on it.
So I say to Duran once the door is open, I believe this is our stop. Duran, right?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Horatio.
We'll catch you guys later, as he says to everyone else.
I wave my hand as they leave.
Duran kind of like lightly touches his fingers to King's fingers, and they kind of drape across like the open hands, touch fingers, and slide across each other as he leaves.
I'll see you soon.
Duran waves.
And you two get up, walk out. You're getting some stares generally, especially the elves in the group from the people who are in there, but they're not staring very hard, just kind of giving you a double take. And you go ahead and leave the tram, heading down the staircase into the Gem District. The tram then gets up again and continues heading as the rest of you go closer to the Dusk District. So, Duran, Horatio, you guys walk down the stone steps onto the bustling streets of the Magus district. What would you like to do?
So, Duran, what do you have in mind?
Very simple, Wizard Horatio. I started thinking about this when Cal got to get his sling for his rifle. I wondered about King's weapon, his new spear. Does it float on its own? Does he make it float? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that he has a telekinetic bond with it and he can have it float as he pleases.
But all the same, I think that it draws too much attention and that maybe I could get something nice for him.
You mean like a sheath?
I'm thinking some kind of sling that he can hold his new spear in, but will also be able to retain its form when the spear breaks apart and forms into smaller parts, or something that King can use for a spear that seems to do so many things.
Okay. Never seen a spear in a sling before, but, might be fun. Let's see if we could find something, I guess. Are you sure this place is the best place to look for it?
Wizard Horatio, I thought that maybe if this was a place with magic, they would have tools for holding magic weapons.
It's a fair assumption. Alright, let's see if maybe we find like an information hub or something. And Horatio would look around for a place where he can ask a question.
So you see placed all around this city, this section of the city, which is beautiful, not comparatively to the Light District, but still beautiful in its own right. There are trees and many canals and riverways leading between its city streets. A familiar, though, a stand where you know the Jeudy Knights usually stay, like a guard station, is not too far away from you that you can go and ask.
So right here, Duran. Let's go see if maybe they can help you with what you're looking for. And I will begin walking towards it.
Okay, you walk up and you see, clad in the Jeudy Knight's armor, is a dwarven woman, and she goes, what can I do for you?
Hi. My friend here is looking for a potential, what is it, Duran? Sling for a magical weapon. Would you be able to maybe help us on where we need to go?
Well, if you're looking for magic items or things you need to weave together, you can head to the Edgar's Trinkets and Rarities. It's not too far from here.
Edgar's Trinkets and Rarities. How can we get here? Or how can we get there, I'm sorry?
So you just walk down the street here, and then you make a first left, and then keep going, and then you'll see this strange place with a stone tablet and Edgar's Trinkets and Rarities written on it in common.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe. May the trees be with you. And
Yeah.
Just guard your back. So.
He gives him like a thumbs up as he's walking away.
All right. And after receiving those directions from the Dwarven Jeudy Knight, you continue on your way, following the instructions that she gave you. On your way there, you do notice lots of different shops and places. You see a lot of people flying down on their magical brooms, going into them, coming out with bags and strange smells of magical potions that tickle your senses, Horatio. As you can see, this is a very high magical area. There's lots of places of learning, not libraries per se, but more of just centers. As you can see, windows are open and people are practicing magic inside, learning things. Think of it as like a martial arts dojo that you pass on the street, or like a karate studio, but instead of practicing karate, they're practicing magic, and it seems to be full of this as you walk through the Magus district. There are many houses on the way as well, until eventually you do get to the street that the guard had talked about. Here you see a line of shops that continue until eventually you do see a 3-story large building labeled Edgar's Trinkets and Rarities with the stone tablet on the front as its emblem. Many wizards are walking in and out of this door. Well, they're not wizards. Many mages are walking in and out of the door to this.
I think this might be it, Duran.
There are so many magic people.
Magic people, yeah. A lot of them, actually.
This place is so incredible, Wizard Horatio. Was it like this where you came from?
No, not really. It was more... I guess in the Purporus it was, but... not in the Broken Lands itself.
With this much magic, I think anything could be possible.
Yeah, magic tends to help you reach lengths that you might have not thought imaginable. Should we walk in?
Yes, Wizard Horatio. You first.
And Horatio would walk into the store.
Okay. So Horatio, you walk into the store, passing through, waiting for one of the mages to walk through, and then he holds the door for you, allowing you to go in very politely. As you enter in, your eyes open wide as almost like your pupils dilate, and you witness an entire array of magical items that seem to be floating around the shop on top of shelves, staircase leading up to an open floor where you can see books and almost Barnes and Noble like stacked across different shelves as people are kind of using magic to pull them and put them aside, and have shopping carts and things like that as they're walking around this multiplex department store of magical goods. At the front, you do see there are several automatons walking around taking people's orders, and at the front desk behind a large glass case is one gentleman. Everyone else is seems either a patron or an automaton. He seems to be helping other people going down the line, having assigning automatons to them to assist them in their magical purchases.
If there is a line to speak with this individual, Horatio would step into that line.
Okay. As you go towards the line, an automaton walks over to you and says, "Hello, welcome to Edgar's Trinkets and Rarities. Can I be of service? I'm your friendly automaton to assist you in your purchase."
Hi, my friend here is looking for a sling to hold a magical staff in.
Oh, certainly. We have magical holsters for you here. What kind of style are you looking for? And material?
Duran?
Well, it can't just be. This staff has special properties. It can break apart into several parts and also glow and spin in the air and a bunch of other things.
Neither do I. Just something that can hold it and not prevent it from its capabilities. Maybe something with slits in it or some open space. I don't know.
Or maybe made of a magical mesh.
Oh yeah, like a netting. That sounds good.
The automaton says there, freezes for a moment. We do have a magical item that can do such that. If you have a weapon that can split into different parts, we can make a hoister that will be able to summon it back together again and hold it without the aid of the wielder. This also can come into a mesh form if you want, though that would need a magical enchantment to do so, which will take about approximately, and it freezes for a moment, 3 days to complete.
How long is it until the gala? Is it 4 days?
It is 4 days.
Correct.
This is great. Wizard Horatio. We'll have it in time for the gala, and then King can wear it in with him.
Yeah, that does sound good. What does that run us?
One moment, please. And it begins, it freezes for a moment. It almost looks like it shuts down until it finally pops back up together again. For a magical enchanted holster that can be able to summon back its item in form in multiple shapes, it will cost you 150 gold.
So what do you say, Duran?
A small price, I think. Duran says as he digs through his inventory.
When he says small price, Horatio opens his eyes wide, thinking about the 2 gold he has in his pocket.
Duran happily hands the money over to the automaton, and I'm going to subtract 150 gold from my inventory. Wait, could I, he kind of poking his fingers together, could I get a matching one for, my blades? It doesn't need to break apart, but it should match and look the same as the one I'm making.
Horatio kind of looks at him and smiles a little bit.
So you would be needing holsters for which blades?
Yes, this one, Duran takes out Firethorn. For this, and then he hesitates for a moment before touching the second blade, whose name has not been announced on camera. And then he grabs it, and this blade.
Analyzing with detect magic now. And its eyes begins to glow, and it lights up, boom, and begins looking it up and down, and then it stops and shuts off again. Why? One unknown and one rare magic. Interesting. For a holster to retain these, it would cost you... Oh, well, actually, let me rephrase that. Would you like the same magical properties to bring it back towards you into its holster when needed?
Yes, that sounds incredible.
For magic items of these, it would cost you an additional 300 gold for a total of 450 gold pieces.
Duran looks in his bag. He's got 483 pieces. Wizard Horatio, does this seem imprudent?
What do you mean?
My understanding of that this gold helps us get through in a society like this. If I don't have, will we be okay with me spending this much?
Duran, I mean, you want to do something for King, and honestly, I think it's endearing. So if you feel it's worth it, then absolutely.
Okay, it's worth it. Give me the holsters, yes. And he just gives him the 400, was that 450 gold?
Yeah.
Duran goes down to 33 gold.
And he'll say, plus, we can always make more money. The small gestures like this are most important.
The automaton looks over to you. We'll warn you, for these 2 additional ones, it will cost you 1 10-day to complete all together. If you want expedited service, it will be an additional 50 gold.
Is there any Corporis Arcana discounts?
It stops when you mention that, and it says, it stops for a second, completely changes its demeanor, and stands up straight, and in more and more automatic and robotic voice it goes, present Corporis identification.
I show it I don't take my whole shirt off, I just show it like the small one at the top of my back to show identification.
As you go and turn around your back and lift and bring down your shirt, it once again goes into a glowing eye and it begins scanning, looking up and down, not at where you showed the shirt, but your entire back, as you're shown that, and then afterward it goes, oh, and it goes back to normal. Oh, why, yes. Oh, a mage such as your level in the Corporis definitely receives a discount. I'm sorry, did we say 450 gold with an additional 50 gold for expedited service? We'll be able to get it done with you within 2 days for the cost of 400 gold pieces.
Whoa, Wizard Horatio, you've done it!
That's probably going to get noticed, but yes, that's great. Please proceed.
Anything for esteemed member of the Corporis. I will let Master Edgar know immediately. Please return. Your identification has been taken in. Horatio Dularian Kane.
Oh God, he said that out loud?
He does say it out loud. Doesn't seem anyone notices though. He's not yelling it. He's just saying it to you.
You notice, like when he says it, like Horatio kind of like immediately does a double take to see if anyone heard it, and then he says, "Thank you. Good to know.
We'll see you in 2 days. Thank you again, Horatio Dularian Kane."
Oh God.
And it turns around and begins walking back up towards the front, towards where Edgar is.
Awesome. In that case, Duran gets, since it only costs 400, not 450. Duran's gonna get that last 50 gold he had, and he's gonna just push all of it onto Horatio.
What are you doing? This is your gold, Duran. Here.
Wizard Horatio, you were the one who got it expedited to 2 days. This gold is as good as yours. And he says, pushing it back towards him firmly.
I may have done that, but I have no doubt in my mind that if any of us needed something, you would provide the gold. So just hold on to it. It's okay. Thank you, though.
I will trust your wisdom as always, Wizard Horatio.
So should we go catch up with the guys?
Yes. But not a word of this surprise to King?
Absolutely not. I'm actually thinking about ways I could tease him about it, because he knows you're getting a surprise for him. We should get going.
That'll be fun.
All right, so as you all finish your shopping escapades, Duran giving the money to both Horatio and the automaton, you go look back one time and notice that the automaton cuts in front of the line, talks to Edgar, looks on over towards Horatio. Edgar, which at this distance, because it's quite a big shop, he does look like a tan-skinned gentleman with light brown short hair, wearing similar color to the Corporis robes on, staring at, talking to the automaton, looking at you, and you close the door behind you, and he just kind of just looks at Horatio with a look you can't really. Roll me a perception check, Horatio.
Oh boy.
Wait, do I get a perception check too?
No, this only noticed to Horatio because he's a Corporis, or Corpor-ish.
That is an 11.
Yeah, not really able to make out, but he does give you this peculiar look. You're not sure, can't quite put your finger on it. But nevertheless, he immediately leaves the group, goes to the back.
Do we make eye contact?
Yes, you do.
I kind of like put my 2 fingers up to my eyebrow and just kind of like give him like a little hello salute type of thing.
He walks back towards. You can't make out with your 11 what
He didn't
did,
say hi back. Oh,
but he just kind of went to the back,
all right.
and you close the door behind you. Meanwhile, oh wait, there's something else you want to say?
Now I was just gonna say that Duran and I would make our way back to the tram and head over to the Dust District to meet up with everyone else.
Okay. Meanwhile, during this, Cal, Monaco, and King, boom, boom, your tram float. It looks like the prestidigitation symbol at the top of the tram changes from a gem to what looks to be arcane dust trickling down until once it finally completes, falling all down from the top to the bottom. The tram stops and opens up, and people get off, allowing you to exit into the Dust District, and you as well start to make your way down into its streets. So right now what you see before you, and Cal, you've been to the Dust District, so you know this place. You've had to pick up a lot of reagents just for your normal paladin usage and etc. Right now everything is similar to the other districts you've been to, the stone slabs, cobblestone streets. A lot of people here are walking, not flying. It's not, I wouldn't say it's rare, but it seems to be that most people are kind of hoofing it. You do see beautiful, maybe even more pristine than the waters that you saw at the Light Districts, strangely. Canals wrapping around the perimeter of this, or the circumference of this circle. Until eventually off into a distance you see what looks to be a thick forest stretching off farther than your eyes can see.
Are people just walking in and out of the forest, or is there like specific places that they're going in and out of?
It looks like the forest has many different entrances and a fence that allow you to go in there, and they're just going through several different entrances. Like most of this district is the forest, while there are some shops and houses towards your western side, but continuing to go to north or in the east, because you're technically at the south, you would definitely have to step into this forest to who knows where these people are walking to. You know, Cal, though.
Look at all the trees.
Yeah, it's quite a forest. But King, if you are looking for any particular reagents, there are a number of shops on the western sector of this level.
Well, should we wait for the others here or in this general area? We don't want them to get lost in the woods. Is there like a town center or like where a few shops are so that they'll know to come to?
Well, Cal, you do know that every district has a corporate center, or every district has a corporate center. That was usually the heart of the town. You could possibly head there. Maybe Horatio would know.
Okay. Well, if you're looking for somewhere central, I guess the Corporus would be the place to go. It's kind of the hub in the center of town.
Seems as if there's one of those in each district. Yeah, let's make our way there. I do need a few reagents. I need some dried incense, I believe powdered silver, and then I have to go back through my notes and see what else I need, but those are at the top of my head.
You putting something together?
Yeah, I was happy to find that there was a ritual that I can perform to become a little bit more connected with, and then I'll hold forth Chasufal and say, with my sacred spear, there's a way for me to understand it more so than I currently do. And in those old tomes, there was a ritual of communion. So I'm trying to, complete that.
See, well, I think it's admirable.
If you want, you can help me take part in the ritual.
Sure, if I can help. Sounds like we're gonna need to be able to afford some ingredients, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I only have, and I open up my little flower coin purse, and as I open up the blooming flower, it just puffs out a puff of smoke. Like it's coughing, because there's no money inside of it. I have a few gems that are worth a little bit of money, but probably not enough. I don't know, I was hoping that maybe I could see if they needed some additional healers. I could potentially offer a hand at, aiding others for some coin.
Cal, you're good at this stuff, right? You can find money in cities, right?
I can find money, but we need to first find someone who's willing to be a little generous.
Oh.
I think maybe in the forest we might find a druid or two that may have some problems with some of the beasts that may have gotten loose.
Oh, maybe they'll pay us and then we can get King his ingredients.
Exactly.
Well, now if we're all going to do it, would be a ritual for all of us. It's seemingly along the lines of a meditation. So I would assume that if you want to gain a deeper knowledge or connection with either the ritual components help facilitate specifically with a weapon or a foci, but you can potentially use the time to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. But I think we all would be able to participate and follow the rules, I guess.
My wand is a little out of date.
Maybe we can get you a new one.
All right, so
First, we need funds.
Oh, what is the plan?
Meander towards the Corporus Market Center. Maybe see if there's like a billboard or something. If there's any like sickly looking people, King will be like, "Do you need aid for money?" No, he won't. No, he won't.
Okay. So, Cal, you easily know where it is. You remember. You've been here several times to the Dust District. Like I said, up into the Gem District, you've been able to travel. So you make your way over towards the west, passing through the beautiful canals that sparkle with the sapphire light of the Sapphire Sea and the Sapphire Shore, until finally making into finding the Corporus symbol and seeing the building where you see not as many mages as you saw in the other districts enter in, but there are mages going in and out of this smaller building. And as you all begin to head in there, you pass other shops. There seems to be little souvenir-like shops and knickknacks, nothing huge in terms of shopping for larger items. Opening the door, you walk into the bureaucratic-style office of the Corporus, where several members there are once again floating papers around and passing them back and forth. No one bats an eye when you walk in there, except for you hear one person yell, "You 1 moment, please. 1 moment, please. Someone will be right with you." And sure enough, then that person who said that seems to be an old human man with bald head, but he still has hair on this gray hair going down his sides and the back of his head. Looks around and says, "Okay, I guess that's me." Puts down his papers and walks up to you, and he seems to be about, though human, 5 feet tall, just as tall as King. How can I help you?
Well, I was wondering if you knew of anyone who needed some work done around here.
Oh, you're adventurers looking for a job?
Yeah,
Oh.
we have a little bit of downtime before the gala, and figured I'd put my hands to some use.
Downtime before the gala, as if you're invited. Sure, if you need to find something, he chuckles. There is the job board. The Corporus constantly puts up jobs up there that, if you're here in the Dust District, you should be able to handle with your magical prowess. Anything that is required to leave outside of the protection of the Arcanum of Thelos, you would have to get permission from one of the magistrates.
Oh no, you misunderstand. We're actually from the Light District. We're simply day visiting here in the Dust.
And he looks on over to you. Oh, are you? Oh, well then, if you are who you say you are, then you should be able to handle anything here then. But why wouldn't you want to find a job in one of those districts? I'm sure they'll pay more.
I heard that there's druids in the forest. That's my
Yes.
reason for being here.
Oh, interested in druidic magic. Well, I'm sure one of the druids might have paid up a quest for something for reagents or things they need done, but they are mischievous, so I would watch it.
Are they known to pay a fair? Are they honorable? Rather,
They're druids, King.
they should be. But he's painting them in such a poor light.
No, I mean they'll pay us in like dirt.
Sticks.
No, you misunderstand. They have money. They're just like everyone else. Just that you just need to watch your words around the druids. They tend to be very truthful, but they're very particular about the verbiage they use. So
We might want to put our pursuits into the Magus District, though, King.
I understand. I merely wished to visit a temple.
Of course,
I
think we should too. I think we should too. Get our minds clear of all this high arcane and become centered.
Do you wish to partake in the mage battle? I think they were in the Magus District. You might be able to get a good bit of coin from fighting some of the other worthy contenders. Is that what you meant?
Not necessarily in the mage battles, but there might be some wizard or sorcerer who needs to get something collected.
And do you think it would just simply be in the city? Simple to get? Or will we have to leave the city?
I don't know. It
we
could be either. The city's pretty massive.
It is.
You should do the mage battles, King.
And
Me? Is
Yeah.
that unfair, though?
I mean,
I don't think so.
no. I mean, maybe, but
Is it cheating?
I mean, what's a little bit of cheating? Just a little bit.
I mean, you're using magic. Isn't that cheating enough?
Well, I mean, the opponent would have magics as well.
Exactly.
Oh, so I guess it's not cheating then. She's just grinning at you.
I agree, Minako.
I don't know if Duran will let me.
Oh, you're right. It would hurt you too much, I guess.
But the spirit of battle would, I think, impress Duran.
I think
This
so
may
too.
be some kind of gift in a way for you to showcase and impress him.
A performance, you think, of battle?
Of something like that. I mean, Duran seems very amazed at any and all magic, so I think you going out on a stage of sorts in battle, which is something that he finds very.
He did mention that he was going to get a surprise, and I can't help but think that it's for me. Maybe I should do that and just dedicate my battle and performance to him.
That'd be wonderful.
But if he gets me something, I should have something in return. I feel like a loser.
Then you'll just have to get him something.
I think that to Duran and his people, from all the time we've spent on the road talking and chatting away, his people don't value material objects. I think he would appreciate more a dedication in the form of some sort of battle and of spirit.
Okay, then both of you, and I look in dead-eyed look in both of your eyes, and I said, then both of you have to cover for me while I sign up for the mage battles, because you know he's going to try and stop me.
That's no problem. I think I could sway him to searching for some other work where he could put a blade to some use.
All right. But you have to make sure you get him good seats to see me.
Of course, I just haven't really been onto the Magus layer, and I'm not really sure where
so
everything
excited! Ooh, you see King, his face get all excited and giddy at his friends now aiding him in going to battle, which is a weird place for him because it's sort of opposite his style, but I'm so excited. Thanks for the suggestion. I hope I do him proud and win my match. At least the first one. I'm sure there's probably a set.
Well, they say the best offense is a great defense, and you use fantastic defensive magics.
We shall see.
Minako is like all smiles, and then as kind of King turns his back on her for a second, she looks very serious for a second, and then it's back to being all smiles as soon as he turns around.
Are you going to partake too?
Oh, I don't know.
You totally should.
Well, maybe. She kind of like smiles at you playfully.
If there's a singles match, I'll go myself. But if there's a group match, I'm signing you and Horatio up to be my backups.
Well, fine. I do have your back, King.
Yay! And I like jump up and clap and get all giddy. And say, shall we see if we can get a snack or a treat while we wait for them?
Oh, yeah. They probably have, I don't know, grown things. Probably
Check
delicious.
outside. There are a couple souvenir-type shops.
I didn't see you as the knick-knack collecting type.
No, but they usually have some pretty decent road snacks at places like that.
You would know. Check it out.
I've heard that sometimes people grind up rocks and put it on fruit, and they give it a different flavor. I wonder if they do that here. He's talking about like people putting salt on like watermelon or like salt on sweet treats.
Oh, yeah. Lots of the different stuff.
Okay, so where are you guys
Just looking
heading?
for like a food truck or like a food stand in this general district while we're waiting for the others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just waiting for them to get
Some
back.
kind of food cart.
Sure, there are several little eateries you can go to, not like a food truck or any stands on the outside. Here, as this is not a very it's not as well traveled as you see the other districts are, but there are definitely places you can go inside and just sit as like a cafe and take a small meal. Some of them with outdoor seating that you can go ahead and sit down, or you can go to any one of the many shops to purchase trinkets. So the choice is yours.
Ooh, this place has a plate of fruit with a cup of tea. Do you want to go to this one?
Yes, I think it'll be good to have to stay outside in case we see them walking by.
Oh yes, I'll take this little table right here for us.
So nice out.
As you all go and take your seats, eventually, as you take your seats and sit down, one of the human waiters, dressed up in a very nice, beautiful garb that looks very earthy in a sense, where all the colors are earth tones, and you can see pieces of like bark and things on his outfit, though it matches pretty well where it looks fancy enough. And he goes on over to you and takes your order, and you can go ahead and the entire meal to get a nice little package here costs you no more than a gold, if that. But you guys have a delicious meal over in this little cafe for the moment.
Minako gets drinks.
You see King counting out. Okay, it's a gold. So 1 silver, 2 silver, 3 silver,
Oh, King,
4
King,
silver.
No, guys, I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
okay.
this thing is fruit and it's very nice. Can I have another, please?
The waiter comes by, bringing you more drinks and snacks as you sit down there waiting for your allies to meet up.
I like sheepishly open up my like little coin purse and like scoot my like 10 silvers back into my bag and close it up
King,
and stuff it in my
looks
backpack.
sad.
I
And
just
she'll pull out just like a proper gold piece, proper set of gold for us, and pay for everyone's food.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't have any money right now.
I don't either. I was tricked.
It's okay, you guys. It's okay.
Why did you just let them go? We could have gone after them. They surely swindled you and a whole bunch of other people.
Yes, but I feel as if that's part of their whole performance, and I'm not going to knock them for being more clever than I was.
But it wasn't part of their performance. It was a nasty trick. You don't know who's going to perform at a tavern or at a establishment until you arrive. So, they planned to do that to anyone who was there. It's not like something you signed up to happen.
I feel like most people don't carry around that much gold.
Well,
As adventurers, we don't really have a bank to deposit to,
oh, that's a
I
good
mean, I've
idea.
never been robbed like that before.
Yeah,
but that was a lot of gold.
they certainly put their fingers on the scale, if I'd say so. Trying to pull at Cal's heartstrings.
So after you guys discuss and continue going on, waiting for your allies to arrive, Duran, Horatio, you leave the tram that you had entered. Well, let me rephrase this. You are walking to the tram at this point, going up to the staircase to head on. At this point, Horatio, you clearly understand how the system here works. And so you're waiting for it to come back, heading towards the Dust District. At this moment, as you're standing there at the tram station, looking up at the dustless sky, you see a large screen-like image appear, and it appears off into the distance in several places, but there's one right above you guys, and you see a major image appear onto this screen, and you hear a loud noise and a voice booming out saying, "Mage Wars, Mage Wars, Mage Wars! Are you ready to fight with your magical prowess? Ready to take on your opponents and show off how powerful you are with the arcane? Then come to the Magic District and prepare for Mage Wars!" And then every few minutes or so, this advertisement keep popping up, and people look up at the commercial of Mage Wars that seems to be presenting itself. But nonetheless, as this keeps going on, the tram comes up. You take your seats and land safely into the Dust District.
How close were those glowing major images? Were they close enough to touch?
No, they're about 300 feet in the air.
Well, Duran is completely floored by it all the same.
Man, they kind of throw that in your face, don't they?
This is such a magic city.
Oh, yeah, you must be losing your mind. Yeah, man. If I'm not mistaken, that might have been a major image.
Oh,
Spell.
yes. Yes, I see. Horatio, are you going to do the Mage Wars?
I'm not too sure. I mean, sounds interesting enough, but kind of don't really feel like fighting for a while,
I understand. We have been in some very, very dangerous, life-threatening battles. Perhaps the gala is a good time for us to gather our strength and prepare for the coming journey.
Yeah, the gala. Horatio has this, distant look in his face again.
Was it Horatio? Do
Yes?
not worry. We will not let anything happen to your mother. I promise.
Thanks, Darren.
Whatever you have to say, whatever you have to do, I swear on my life in this blade, no harm shall fall your mother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so you guys head off the tram station, heading down to the earthen fields, streets of the Dusk District. You both have no idea where you are, but there are more guard posts that you notice, Horatio, that you can easily use to ask, as you see a large forest towards your north and towards the west, more of the town.
Realizing that we have no idea where they went, Haisha would say on the brain chat, where you guys at?
This is all chat.
Individually.
Mhm. So you all each get a ping of where you are into your heads.
Did you get that? I'll reply all. We're in the district center near the Corporus.
And King gets a message in his head. Thank you. We'll meet with you shortly. And then he would walk over to the guard post and be like, could you point me in the direction of the Corporus, please?
And the guard goes, certainly right over there. Points over towards the west.
Thank you. And Harisha will say, Duran, come on, this way.
Oh, yes, of course. Duran says, trying not to get transfixed on some other magic doodad or floating mystical object on their path.
All right, so you guys begin walking over there, and every so often, though it's far away, you see a major image appear in the sky. You can't hear it at this distance, and it does not appear in the Dust District or anything below, just in the magic and the light you saw at different sections, hearing that advertisement go off over and over again. But eventually you do make it towards the main district, seeing the Corporus out in the front. The shopping district, and you see the Corporus registration center in the front. Roll me a perception check, see if you see your allies, the both of you. All right, so that's a 12 and Horatio an 18. So Duran, you're just a marvel at everything here. Even these little magical trinket shops kind of take your attention. But Horatio, you look over and see the rest of the Liberators having snacks and things over at a local cafe.
Harisha just walks over to them and says, this way, Duran, right here.
Oh, yes, but that one has a bunch of magic balls in her cups, and if I guess the right one, I can get gold.
I think that's a trick. We should, hey guys, as he walks over.
Oh, hey, are you guys hungry? This place is great.
I could eat something.
Yes, Minako has graciously treated us to this wonderful tea and the delicious bowls of fruit.
They have this fruit juice. It's got something in it. It's really good.
I'll have one of those then, as he looks at Minako. And you said, is it a drink or a bowl of fruit?
They've got bowls of fruit. I've got a drink. And I think there's like some kind of other thing that King got. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
What'd you get, King?
Oh, an herbal tea with this fruit. It's quite good.
Oh, well, I'll try the juice and maybe get something else to eat. I don't think fruit with fruit is great. Duran?
Duran is going to try some of King's treat.
Please, here, help yourself. How was your shopping trip?
Very eventful. Wizard Horatio was able to do that thing you do with the Seeker. He looks around to make sure no one heard him say the word Seeker, because he knows that Seekers aren't popular here. When you flashed the badge, he did that, but with the Corpus Arcana.
Oh, that's quite handy.
They probably hold a lot of weight. I mean, we've seen their centers everywhere.
I just feel like they're gonna know that but it is what it is. It's fine. I don't care.
Well, if anyone wants to make trouble for you, Wizard Horatio, they're going to have to get past us first.
I don't think they're gonna cause trouble.
All right, so now together again, you guys finish up your meals. Probably in the end cost you about a gold and a half, with the two new people coming in to take snacks, and Minako or whomever, you easily pay that off before.
Horatio would put forth for him and Duran.
Okay, so you put forth like the half a gold's worth as on top of the gold that Minako already placed in there. Your meals are cleaned up and you get up and walk out towards the town square. What do you guys want to do?
King, you said you wanted to find a temple?
Yeah, I just have a hunch that there would be a temple, or at least ruins, to the Prolephacy, and then possibly see if the druids had any incense or dried herbs they'd be willing to part with, and possibly offer a hand or aid them. I don't know, something about that just feels right to me.
Let's head into the forest.
I feel so comfortable. Walking into woods just makes me feel so good. Reminds me of being home.
It's a good feeling.
None of this place looks like home.
I think home is what we make of things, Duran says, gripping King's hand.
Absolutely. And I'll squeeze his hand. Let's go. We've wasted enough time dilly-dallying about.
Okay. So you all continue walking throughout the town. Duran, roll me a perception check.
What do my eagle eyes see? I rolled a 16.
16. You look around just to make sure you're not being followed, as you did in all the other districts, but from what you saw, no one's around. You feel safe. But you all continue walking, heading towards the northern part of the town, where you see several entrances into this large, thick forest. Its canopy blocks out any type of vision, that light that would be shown from the outside, and it seems like you're walking into a dark, mysterious forest. But it's a forest nonetheless, and immediately as you get closer towards the king, you can sense the earthen magic, the Jeudic powers that seep through it, and as you as well, Horatio, with your arcane intellect. You see several mages, walking in there. Some of them holding hands as they enter in through certain doors. Others giggling, young mages giggling as they run inside of the forest, prancing into the darkness as their visage dissipates.
That's better. It's so bright over there with their artificial sun or whatever that is.
Are these magic people as well?
They seem to be.
I think so. Do you want to go after them?
Not. Let's go.
Come on. And then I'll start running freely into the woods after the shadowed beings.
You all follow in, all the prancing children and mages who walk into the dark lit forest that's within the Dusk district. Piercing through the exterior, you walk in, surrounded by trees and a dirt road. Immediately, you all feel the heavy, thick energy that is the druidic magic that surrounds this mystical forest. You step in. Anyone who doesn't have any night vision, any dark vision, your eyesight is very blurry. It's hard to make, though there's very dim lights that at least illuminate the path before you. Eventually, there are several clearings as you walk into it, and you see different tents and huts that have been set up, where you see several mages going in there, giggling, and coming out there all elated and happy as they leave, holding hands together, and or walking in alone by themselves and coming out with bags of different reagents and items. The smell of incense is very thick. There's all different scents of sandalwood and mystical scents bloom into the air. What do you want to do?
So those without dark vision can't see right now?
It's very hard to see. It's very dimly lit.
Horatio kind of squinting his eyes. So what are we looking for?
I need some incense, and also I want to know if there's a shrine in this area. How many times do I have to tell you?
Sorry, I apologize, King.
No. I'm just joking with you. I'm not really that fanatic about it. Or am I? No, I'm just kidding. Is it these woods? Who knows? Come on.
All right.
As you say that, you look back at your friends as you're leading the charge inside of it. Turning into the front of you, you see what looks to be suddenly appearing before you is a very beautifully dressed in green silk garments with patches of twigs and dirt placed onto it. But it strangely doesn't look dirty, just kind of blends in with the background and it looks complete. A young little girl, but she presents herself as if she has much maturity, and she goes, "Welcome, weary travelers, to the forest within the Dusk district. Do you need any assistance?"
Yes, I do need some assistance. Thank you first for your hospitality.
She just goes up to you and says, "The honor is ours. How can we assist you?"
I am looking for possible places of worship. Were there shrines or ruins to the Prelepacy in this forest? Seeing as how the old gods prayed to the woods, I assumed there would be such a place here.
She looks at you, twists her head in a peculiar fashion, almost bird-like with her blank stare, and says, "What an odd request. We haven't seen those who worship the Epilepsy in quite some time, but there are places of worship for them within the forest. If you so wish it, you will find it by walking towards the east."
Thank you very much. And then, I do have some coin. My pockets are a little light. Is there perhaps a way that I could barter or bargain for some druidic incense and herbs of this land?
We have many shops within the forest of the dust. Why, to your left, and she points over, is one of such, and to your right, and she points over to the right as well, is another. If you wish for potions to take to elevate your senses to a new plane, we have those as well. Those places for lovers, and she says, looking at King and then shooting over to Duran and giving a little wink. It kind of alerts you. How much does this little girl know? But she turns around and says, "You can go to the tents over there. The dust district's all about pleasures of the body and the soul."
Okay, great. You've been purely fantastic. I'll turn back to the group and I'll say, do you have any questions for our young madam?
You turn back and you see she's gone.
Oh, never mind. You wasted your time.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any questions. I can barely see.
I'll say to my staff chastful, I hold it up and I'll swirl it in the air and I'll say luminosity and offer a soft, dim glow. I'm not going to make it a bright light, just dim, but more than the darkness it is, so Horatio has a little bit of a easier time looking around. And also, I'll walk towards the first tent as well, sort of leading the charge and providing a beacon for the group to follow.
Okay, so you go ahead, using your dimly lit luminosity. It's almost like a beacon. It shines. Other people, patron, walk around, look at it, and they're like, "Oh," and they give you a nod. All the other mages as they walk in and out. It's not very, very busy, but there's some traffic in and out. But you can easily walk through without bumping into anybody. This almost like a campground inside of a forest, where you look up and the canopy completely blocks any type of outline. You look back to where you came and the trees block your exit as well. You see the path to get out. It's not like you're trapped, but the trees are just very thick. Walking on over towards the closest tent, you open up the flap and duck your way in there, and it's empty, but it seems much bigger inside than it was when you saw it. There are little platforms and shelves with many different bottles of reagents and items, and behind you see a similarly dressed person to the little girl that you had talked to before, with the twigs coming out of the hair, and although you would come across as being messy at first, just seems complete. Here it is brightly lit, there's a candle burning, so you all can easily see what's inside this tent. But the gentleman who dressed this way comes up and says, and this gentleman also looks like a little child as well, probably like a 12 to 14-year-old human boy. Welcome to our shop. How can we help you?
I'm looking for some special incense. I'm trying to perform a ritual of communion and better obtain better understanding of my magical divine device, and I'll hold Chastaful forward for them to observe. And one of the components of this ritual is a incense. The language in the book was a little archaic, so I'm not quite sure what exactly incense is required. I just assumed that it would be something of a higher quality, and therefore that is why I seeked you out, trying to flatter a little bit.
Oh, we have everything you need here. Yes. If you're looking for incense to commune with your weapon there, that it's very shiny and beautiful, you'll need some type of divine communion incense. They've been blessed by the goddess Artemis, goddess of the hunt and of the forest. You will be able to blessed in her name, you'll be able to commune stronger with these. And how much will you be needing?
Well, I need one, and then I look towards Cal and Minako. You guys were considering joining me on the ritual. I'll also say Duran and Horatio, if you want to partake as well. It's up to you. Sort of indicating that the number of people who are going to join me in the ritual that's how many reagents we'll need.
He looks over to you. I can give you 5 sanctified incense in the name of Artemis for 5 gold.
Oh, well, that's easy enough. Thank you very much.
Wait,
Minako.
was it Horatio? Do you want to say anything to them?
I'm sorry, what, Duran? Oh,
Thank you.
I
Oh,
don't.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's gonna actually help in this situation. I mean,
He's being modest. He's a member of the Carparis Arcanum.
Oh,
As you say that, you see his face go from the smile to a sour look and says, "We don't care for the Corpus Arcana here. If you're looking for a discount, it's the same price, 5 gold for the sanctified incense. If you wish for a discount, go into the town proper. Here, we do not care about those corporous members and their perversion of magic."
version of magic. What do you mean?
Version of magic.
Everyone does their own version of magic. It's all right. No, we didn't mean that. I think that our friends were just debating if they wished to partake in the ritual or not. Is that what you were intending?
Absolutely, yes. And I actually wish to sit this one out, if it's all right, King.
No problem. Duran, do you wish to partake or not?
oh, Duran should partake.
I think so as well.
I will, but King, I only ask that we be careful because of. And he puts his hand to his chest in the same location where your chest have the glowing object.
It's to attune to this, not to me. You do not need to worry. And who knows, you may find a deeper understanding of your weapons that may help unlock a secret with me.
Well, I'll take any chance I can to learn more about you.
So then, that just leaves Cal and Minako. Are you both going to, for certain then?
Yes.
We'll take 4 then.
Yeah.
Pulls out 4.
The
gold.
Calman packs of 5. Oh, so you need 4 packs of 5 then?
We will take 1 pack of 5. He says, frowning.
We'll just keep an extra one in case we need it. I'm sure that the sanctified incense will come in use in other situations.
He goes on over and picks up the pack of sanctified incense that's placed into a wooden box with the symbol of Cal and Minako. You recognize this as a symbol of Artemis, the goddess of the forest and the hunt, and the one of the aegis imprinted on it, and slides it over to you as you. And that would be 5 gold, unless you want anything else.
There's all kinds of reagents and stuff around here.
Yeah, all kinds of reagent stuff on their shelves and everything.
Do you also carry poisons and toxins?
All things are free for use in any way. It's only a poison if that's the way the user is meant to use it. But we have things that can be used as toxins, yes.
Yes, but I want to put on my blade and poison someone. Does it do that?
Of course, if that's the way you wish to apply it.
How else would you apply it?
No, there's ways to turn poisons into healing salves or other reagents.
Oh.
Don't be so close-minded.
Ha.
Do you have some sort of, I don't know, salve or potion that can undo the effects of any poison?
We wouldn't say we have any poison, though we do have that can get rid of lots.
Are they expensive? Maybe it would be useful to purchase 1 or 2 in case we find ourselves in a really bad situation.
Depends on your definition of expensive. We have low potency, mid potency, and high potency vials of toxins.
No. I mean antidote that could potentially neutralize any poison.
Oh, well, as I said before, it depends on what you consider expensive, but we have ones that can neutralize more than more poisons, and then we have ones that can only do a few.
I actually had a number of ingredients I was looking to purchase for a potion I was hoping to brew.
And ingredients we have.
Wonderful. And she lists some of the ingredients that she needed for the potion she was given earlier.
He looks on, you list it, and he turns to you. What are we planning to brew with this? There's lots of things you can do here.
Lots of things indeed. I'll be taking them, yes?
He looks over to you and gives you a peculiar look. Well, we certainly have most of these items, though a couple of the things you've mentioned are pretty rare.
Oh.
Well, we don't have a sunstone, unfortunately, but we do have a leaf of mandrake plant. Here's some silver, and here's some nightshade for the mermaid scale, and then the sunstone. You may look around, or you might have to find it in one of the other shops in the Magus district. It is quite potent indeed.
Thank you for pointing me there.
Do you know where to find these outside of the city walls?
Oh, well, if you're wanting to look for nightshade, you'll need to go to... we need to go to the dreaded waters. There's you can find some nightshade, possibly some mermaid scales if they seem to make their way in there. I've heard that before they become sirens, mermaids get lost at the swamp cross and then shed their scales there, and they collect on the rocks. But then they become sirens and can lure you into your doom.
In the Sunstone?
The Sunstone? Well, that would be very peculiar. As the name suggests, you need the power of the sun in that stone, and well, we all know what happened to the sun here in Dusk Haven. You'll probably need to talk to a high magistrate, or even the Archmage himself, or something like that.
Minako, you totally reminded me. I think I needed powdered silver for my ritual too. Do you have a few more ounces of powdered silver?
Oh, why, yes, we do. How much are you looking for?
Oh, 4 rituals worth.
4 rituals worth. Excellent.
Oh, well, that leaves 2 out of the 3 components for this ritual. The last one is probably going to be the hardest, and we'll probably actually find that closer to our mobile home in the Light District. Although, I have a sinking feeling maybe we might need a royal to purchase it for us. Divine Residuum is not something I see commoners carrying around.
Ah, Divine Residuum, he says, turning to you.
Oh, you have some?
No. We're sorry. We don't have Divine Residuum. But that's something you may be able to find here in the Dust District, as Residuum is dust from the magic of your school of choice, which in this case is Divine. But you'll need to talk to Serio. She tends to greet our guests every so often, but she is the leader here.
And where can I find her?
She usually finds you. You might recognize her. She's a little girl, green garb dressed like me, twigs and dirt on her. She's very regal.
Oh, I did meet her. I'm very fortunate. She was the one who welcomed us.
Yes, we hold her in high regard. She leads all of us druids in the true way of magic, the magic that's meant from the earth.
Magic is meant from the earth, I reiterate. I agree. I tend to follow a goddess of the woods.
Oh, do you follow Lady Artemis?
I do not. I'm quite a bit older and follow different gods. As you can tell, I am not from here.
Oh yes, you're an half-elf. We have noticed.
I respect the new gods, mostly.
That you should.
Certainly Artemis, but I follow my Lady of the Woods, Myliki.
Oh, a Poelefsi worshipper. Well,
yes, I'm going to the ruins or the temple. Actually, Sariel herself informed me that they would be to the eastern side of the forest.
Well, if you go searching for what you're looking for, perhaps you'll find it.
Thank you for your wise words, kind druid.
He bows to you, and he goes, so, for the incense, as well as for the ingredients that my fine tiefling here has put forth, I would say that would cost you about either 50 gold pieces, or we could trade it for a drop of blood from each of you.
What?
Harisha goes, what?
From each of us, surely that's too much. How about just one?
What?
No.
There'll be no blood.
What? Why do you want people's blood?
Blood is from the earth, and with it you can do, especially those from different worlds, he says, looking at each of you, and it's almost as if he's looking through you. Your blood can be quite potent in growing some of our many trees here within the forest of the Dusk District.
Oh, so you need forests to be grown or a tree to be grown. How about a counter bargain? If I offer my services in aiding you in causing this tree to flourish, will that be a fair trade instead?
Oh no, not just any. So some of all the trees see before you are connected to one person or another. Those who wish to give up their essence to further grow our forest. It's like a part of them is here. Now, there's no harm to the person who gives the blood, but I will have to admit, as we Serialites, we do not lie. That is one of our code. We will get our own personal boons for presenting such powerful blood to grow trees here from Our Lady of the Forest area. And if I can get blood from an elf, a half-elf, 2 tieflings, and a very mystical smelling human, there's something about you. I think I might get rewarded handsomely. And of course, it will cost you nothing else.
Does he seem nefarious in his offer?
Roll investigation. Insight check, yeah. So roll an insight check.
Can I join in on that insight?
Yeah, you all can go in if you want.
We can all join in.
Yay.
I am going to add my favored by the gods.
Oof, I rolled like ass.
I see nothing wrong with this, with rolling a 3.
So we
Cal's
have...
like, here's my blood. They done already took all my money. What else I got to do?
So we have King with a 15, Duran with an 18, Cal with a 3, Horatio with an 11, and Monaco with a 22. All of you feel that he's just being straight and honest. Doesn't seem to be anything nefarious about what... Well, let me rephrase that. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't seem to be lying about anything he's saying that he's hiding from you. All of you who rolled higher than a 17 or 17 and higher, it seems like he's not telling you everything, but it doesn't seem like he's being nefarious in any way.
Horatio says, do we get residents in the Dust District if we did this?
No, it's just simply help to grow the forest. We need the essence of people who are well-traveled. Your blood carries all the places you bring with you. Your blood carries all the places that you came from. And it's to be quite delectable amount of trees and to extend our forest.
I don't think it might be a good idea for, and I point at Duran, King, and myself, us to give our blood.
I think we'll just pay the 50 gold.
Be it. We appreciate your coin as well. We always offer, though.
So I believe this is mostly a fair trade, and I'll pull out the 40 gold pieces worth of jewels that I have, and I'll say to the group, can some of you just cover the last 10?
I had offered to give this money to Wizard Horatio, but I can use it to help cover the cost.
I mean, it's 50 gold's worth, right?
I put up 40 if you have 10.
Oh, no, I don't have 10, I'm sorry.
Then I will put in the 10.
Okay, so you place down the 40 gold gems, and the boy looks at it and goes, oh, one moment, goes down, disappears for a moment, comes back up from behind his little desk and pulls out a monocle that stretches out and then uses his fingers and rubs it over the gem.
They're from the earth.
Exactly, and we accept these as fair compensation. And he grabs the gems and the 10 gold. Seems like we have an accord. Is there anything else we can be of service with?
How much are you willing to pay for my blood?
He looks at you and stops, gets out from behind the counter, and you can see how short he is. He's just a little kid, and he begins walking around, his cloak kind of flailing behind him as he steps around Horatio, looking him up and down. His eyes begins to glow, a familiar glow of magic detection on him as he snaps his fingers, and after releasing it, he looks at you. You're an interesting one. I'll give you 100 gold for a vial of your blood.
No, it's too low. Sorry. Alright, well, I'm ready to go.
So be it. Oh, if you need anything else, please don't hesitate to come back to us, this or any one of our shops. So the boy goes ahead and grabs the money, handing you off a box with all of the reagents, sliding it down and says, is there anything else we can be of service with?
Actually, yeah, I have an item from another plane that you might be interested in. It is a delicacy that I'm not sure if you're familiar with. If you'd be willing to take it off my hands, and I'll dig through my backpack, and then I'll say, "Oh, hold on one second. It's actually in my portable hole," and I'll pull out my portable hole and roll it out, and then I'll say, "I'm just gonna jump in." Jump in, quickly look around for the 1 pound truffle that I found, and then I'll jump out with it, and I'll say, "We have this truffle we found on our travels in a mushroom cave."
He goes up to you and says, I recognize the shivering mushrooms here. You don't have to pull a fast one on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that we got this in another place.
We have been traveling a long time.
King, you have ingredients from another place I could have been cooking with this whole time?
Well, I gave you the bags of mushrooms. I didn't know you wanted the truffle too.
The truffle is from here.
Well, the
But
truffle's from up there. Do you want this or no?
He turns to you. Well, the truffle is quite valuable. I will certainly give you 25 gold for a pound of truffles.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I'll make that deal. And I'll put the truffle on the table.
Okay.
And then I'm going to turn to Minako and I'm going to say, sorry, I thought he was going to offer less, otherwise I would have given it to you.
That's okay. Hey, you buy vials of blood. Do you sell them?
No, we don't. We only use the vials of blood here to grow our trees. Things for necromantic components and all that, we don't do it.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Why would you? Right, of course. Haha, let's go.
To think we've been spilling blood for free on the battlefield for so long.
It's different when it's given willingly versus taken.
Is that the magic?
Yeah, gods and magic work in funny ways.
That it does. Is there anything else you wish to purchase in our shop?
That's it, and I'm going to open up my coin purse and slide in the 25 gold pieces he's given me.
Okay.
In exchange for the truffle. Thank you, you've been fantastic.
I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Fare thee well. You close the flap against and back into the forest.
As we're walking, I say, King, I'm surprised you didn't offer one of your seeds.
You wouldn't ask him to sell one of those.
I know. I don't think
Not
that's
sell it.
the right place. I
Give it to them to plant.
I know. I was actually considering offering it to Sariel when we found her. I'm thinking that we might see her in the temple or near or on our travels. I don't know. I'm still debating. I know that this is a good place, but at the same time,
Maybe at the temple if we find one.
Jade said that these were meant to be planted in places of darkness to spread light and to sort of
Horatio looks around.
heal cracks.
Yeah, checks out.
No, this is a city. Even though this is cultured and fostered darkness. There's a difference. I don't know. It's a feeling I get, and I haven't fully gotten it yet, but I have considered it.
Well, if you feel the best place to plant it, then continue following your gut feeling.
I might offer it to the forest itself, and not to a specific druid. Maybe at the grounds in front of the temple. We'll see.
Alright.
What's the phrase they say? Smart people think alike? No, that's not it. Great heads?
Great minds.
Great minds. There we go. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
All right.
Find this temple.
Okay. So you all begin continuing to walking in the direction that Sariel has pointed you, and you continue going, and the forest becomes very dewy and misty as you begin to walk, but not so much to obscure your vision at all as you relight luminosity on Chastaful to guide the dimly lit for Horatio until you begin walking slowly and surely, thinking about your connection to Myliki, looking for Pro-LFC Sanctuary. I need you to roll me, King, a survival check.
May I make an argument for religion?
I would say you could roll a religion, but you'll get different outcome.
Do I know that I'm doing this? Because I would guide myself and be
Yeah,
like, show
you
me
can-
the way. Okay.
Yeah, you're just looking, so you're not sure.
Okay. Let me guide myself.
Or it would be a much higher DC religion. The
19 survival.
19, not bad. So you're beginning to look around and trying to navigate yourself through the trees, trying to use your wisdom to feel where this is. You're not feeling any religious energies coming from it, at least not from any Myliki energy, possibly other feelings of the Aegis. You're not too sure because you're not keen to that pantheon. But nevertheless, eventually the fog clears and there's another clearing off into the distance where you see, surrounded by a perimeter of tall trees, are small rocks that are situated in a strange order. And there's several of them until finally, as the mist settles, it looks almost graveyard-like, though you can tell it's not a graveyard.
I think we're nearly upon it. This place is in disrepair. I think it needs some love. And I'll look at some of these stones and see if they're scattered or if they're placed on purpose.
Getting closer towards the stones as you step in there, you do see there's a stone barrier almost in the ground, that's showing the entire perimeter of this hallowed ground. You pass over it, getting closer to these several large stone formations, and getting to them, you see carved is a symbol of, roll me a religious check.
18.
You see a symbol of a lot of the old gods that you consider just your gods, not old or new. As you pass by the symbol of Corellin and a symbol of other elven gods, until finally you see, almost cracked, is a large boulder or a large stone with the symbol of Myliki, the unicorn, on top of it.
Oh no! Come look. And then I'll point out to the broken boulder. I'll say, that's the symbol of Myliki. The stone is in such disrepair. Oh, and there's Corellin, and there's Sehanine. These are all my gods.
Do they look like they can't be mended?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, so seeing the one that is King's for Myliki, he would attempt to mend that one first to see if it works.
You go ahead and try to cast a mending spell on it, and as you do, the rocks and pieces that have been split apart begin to shake and begin to combine as the seal that split them. The crack completes itself, all the other many pieces falling into place until the symbol becomes whole again. Though after that, nothing changes.
I say, should at least be together.
Thank you so much, Horatio.
No problem.
That means a lot to me. And I'll sort of straighten it up and dust it off. I'll now go around the circle and I'll say, this seems to be the entrance to hallowed ground. It is a sacred space. Let's see if any of the other gods are cracked. They deserve repair as well. If you don't mind, that is.
Don't mind at all. And Horatio will go around and mending any stones that need to be repaired.
DM, is there a Kelemvor stone that I would look for?
So, roll me a perception check. But there are several stones, so different gods of the broken Horatio, that you go around, you can tripping and repairing them one by one. All right, Cal. So Cal, you roll a 19. Looking around, you begin to go off on your own as everyone's kind of walking around, searching, analyzing the area, and you see kind of through the mist in shadows, two things. You see a stone tablet and the symbol of a scale that you know to be the symbol of Kelemvor, but standing next to it is a short person wearing a black cloak. You're not sure what they look like because they're completely covered and they're just kind of staring in front of it, not making a sound. Do you do anything?
Yes. They're facing the opposite direction, towards the stone, away from me?
Yes.
Can I stealthily approach, see if I hear them saying anything, or...
Sure, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
16?
16. Okay. So you go up and begin tiptoeing your way around. Let me roll them a... Okay. They don't seem to notice you as you slowly make your way up there, hiding behind some other rocks and monuments to try to get a closer look. The person standing there, you hear muttering, "The power of Kelemvor, by the holy number 7134822, I imbue thee. Guide me, Kelemvor. for I shall do your bidding and right the wrongs that cross this plane. And afterwards, he does a bow, kissing his finger, putting it onto the symbol Kelemvor scale, and starting to walk off towards the exit.
As he's takes his fingers off of the stone and starts to turn to walk away, say, "Oh, hail and well met." He looks
Go ahead.
shocked.
Yeah, he looks startled when he's at it. He just jumps up and turns around. At this moment, his cloak falls back, and you do see what looks to be a dwarven gentleman. He has dark brown eyes, long brown hair that's a little bit of a mess, but braided at the tips in 3 separate braids. His beard also has the common dwarven braid going down all the way down to its stomach.
May Kelemvor guide you.
He looks back and forth for shock and says, "May he guide you as well. You a worshipper of the Prolefsi."
Yes, I am a paladin of Kelemvor. Kelemvor guides me to help pre-balance the scale.
As he guides me as well. And he lifts up his, he does well, and he lifts up his arm, pulling back the cloak, showing the symbol of Kelemvor tattooed onto his left wrist.
I overheard you pray in prayer, and I didn't want to disturb you, but I pull out my magical revolvers. I have a question about the numbers. What do they mean?
And he turns to you. "You're not part of the order, are you?" And then he gets up closer, noticing the glimmering from the guns. "By my beard, are those? No, they can't be."
If you think they're Galilia's, they are.
At the mention that, he stops walking. Like, he was walking up closer towards you to get a better look at the guns, and you mentioned Galilia, and he just stops.
He was my father. I point to my horns. I tap one of my horns with the barrel of one of the revolvers. It may not look like it, but Galilia found me when I was a baby and raised me as his own. I carry on in Kelemvor's name in the footsteps of my father.
He falls to his knees for a second. "Oh, by Kelemvor's grace, it's only through him do the scales tip in my favor. This is not by chance that I found you here today. He called me here, and look, I found Galilia's chosen, wielding his mystical weapons." And he gets up and dusts himself off. I forget myself. He goes, "My name is Ulathar, part of the Order of Kelemvor, a paladin like yourself, like your father before you."
I was just a child when Kelemvor whispered his will into my ears. I didn't know there were others.
My dear boy.
You've all been here this whole time?
We had thought we lost you, my dear boy. It wasn't by chance that your father found you, or has he not told you the truth?
He's been gone for a long time.
We grew worried when we have heard word from him for such a long time. We thought he went in hiding to protect you, and here you are, in the one place we did not want you to return.
He did, but someone found him, and they wanted his revolvers, and I tried to stop it, but I was just a boy.
Oh, no. Ulathar gets closer towards you, a little bit too close as he goes in here and eyes the weapons. Have they shown the Holy Script? Have the numbers of chaos appeared onto your weapons?
Yes, that's what I wanted to find out about. This 7, 13, 48, 22. They appeared once I actually started using them against some more powerful demons.
And he goes, "You've been inside the presence of chaos. That's the only reason why the guns would react the way they did, revealing the Holy Script. Look, there's so many questions you must have, so many questions I have to ask you. Galilian, please." And he takes out something from his pocket. He goes, "Harness the power of Kelemvor. Follow the directions on here. We have a base here in the Arcane capital. Find me. Speak to no one about what transpired here. We have a lot to talk about. The Order of Kelemvor, it needs you once again. I have to go." And he turns around. "Please, come find us." And he walks off before you catch him, disappearing into the mist and kind of fading off into the shadows.
I wanted to ask him about Merrick. And I look down at the card. What does it say?
It's blank.
It's blank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A blank card. Well, in that case, I will, since I'm at the stone of Kelemvor, I will hold out my rifles in each hand and put them up against the stone, almost in like a triangular, like an angle. Or actually, rewind that. I take each revolver and put them on each side of the scale and say a prayer to Kelemvor to guide my actions and help me balance. In your name I carry on, and for my father I persist. And I bring them back down to my sides.
Okay. You, after performing your small prayer and putting the guns back into your sides, a warm feeling comes upon you, almost like a tingle. Can't quite put your finger on it, but you are comforted by it. Something just transpired here. Something that can finally answer your questions. That much you're sure. That feeling you get from Kelemvor, whoever this Ulathar is, and this order of Kelemvor, definitely has to be something up with that you need to discover. But alas, all you were given was a blank card and just told the instructions to harness the power of Kelemvor and find them before he ran off into the mist forest.
He did. A little shooken up from this entire little experience here. I am going to walk slowly and solemnly back over to my group. Hey, everybody. I just got a prayer done over at a stone for Kelemvor. I thought with all of these Perlefsi here, maybe I could get lucky and find Kelemvor's stone. I did.
Oh, good!
Did it need repairs?
No, it surprisingly is in good working order. Or, it's whole.
Oh, fantastic. At least someone watches over some of the old gods.
That's good. And then Horatio would try to see if he finds the Platinum Dragon's stone anywhere.
Oh, you would have passed on long
I would have
you walked
passed it.
around. Yeah, seeing the Bahamut, the symbol of Bahamut in stone.
Alright. And if it needed repairs, he would have repaired it, and he would have kind of looked at it a little bit longer, and then moved on to the next one.
We've just about finished cleaning up all of these old stones.
Duran is going to also try to clean up parts of this temple that they're in by using that same ability he worked with Kai using when they were clearing their traces when they were trying to escape. When they used the vagary to kind of clear the footprints they left behind. Would it be possible for them to repeat that technique to try to dust out the temple and dust off the dirty old floors and walls and statues?
Certainly. So you begin to perform your vagary, spinning around into the gestures of the cloud dance. The wind begins to furl around your hands and your feet, and using so you command them and start to push across it. I need you to roll me a wisdom check. Give you advantage because you were successful in the last time you attempted this.
I rolled a 17.
17. All right. At this point, have gotten such a good hand on your vagary, being the first one to unlock theirs. You're able to perform the cantrip Gust, and doing so, create winds around your body that push off and clear all the dust and webs and other types of debris that are located on all the surrounding statues and stone relics before it calms down once again. Though some of you kind of hold up your eyes as Duran creates a small little wind funnel, but ends it gently before he finishes his dance.
Hey, watch it.
Duran, I thought you didn't know how to cast magic.
Well, this is just using the vagary technique that Kai taught me when we were escaping Shivrin.
Oh, that's similar to the Gust cantrip that I've heard of. That's extremely useful. You're kind of using magic there.
It seems like there are many ways to magic then, Wizard Horatio.
There you go.
You definitely get a sense that it has the same effect as magic, though it's not
Right.
arcane in nature.
Right, no, this is just Horatio, kind of trying to boost Duran, because he's so, iffy about magic, and it's you're already using it, it's not that big a deal. So I'm not saying that what he's doing is magic, I'm fooling Duran, so to speak.
Okay.
Because I understand that the vagary is not magic.
So now that we've, fixed up these stones and sort of this circular, space, what else is there? Can you describe the surroundings?
Yeah, all there is just think of it as a large graveyard. But instead of graves, there are just stone tablets and symbols of each of the gods set across. Almost you could say it's a metaphor of a graveyard, as these are the dead gods, and they've been. At least there's a small place where people can come worship them, though it's very dusty, dreary, unkempt, and basically confusing with the forest.
Okay. So, I get it. So now that we've cleaned up the plaques of the gods, King will say, I want to just this shrine over here is the seemingly the place where travelers can come and worship, but it looks as if it is just so dilapidated. So I'm going to spend some time cleaning this up, and then I wish to cast a long-form ritual and breathe life back into this land. And then I'll go over to like this shrine area. I'm assuming that there's like a small granite or marble-like structure.
Yeah, all of them
possibly.
have it. I have that. So all of the symbols for each of them are like large granite-like or rock-like boulders, or in the shape of your. Are they engraved? Is the shape of it, or they're just?
So there's like a shrine at each of these, because I thought it was like.
Yes, it's.
I thought you were saying like there was like a shrine or altar, and then to the right of that or near that was like the circle of stones.
No. It's you're in a. So the ground you're in, there's stones on the ground showing the perimeter of a large. Think of it, instead of a fence, it's just stones on the ground that you can easily just walk over. But it shows the perimeter, and in each row, there's just a symbol of each of the gods next to each other, of the old gods, and each of them has like a rock or some type of rock-like object in the symbol of their in the shape of their symbol that either was cracked or not cracked. So it's not very like there's no temple, there's no huge shrine.
It's just like a small little gesture to be like, this represents you, and that's it.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so now with that understanding, King will say, I feel better that we've cleaned off these shrines and sort of updated this, but I need to do more, and I wish to honor these old gods more so than the people are currently doing, and I plan to breathe some life back into this section of the land. Okay. I will spend several hours here, so I do not expect any of you to stay. It's all right.
All right. So what are the rest of you doing? King has declared he will be staying here for quite a while. What are the rest of you deciding to do? It's still, at this point, you've been wandering for a bit. It would be getting to the later half of the day, though not time for bed yet. Possibly 8-ish, 9 o'clock.
I wouldn't feel comfortable just leaving you here alone, so I'll probably stay around the area and read or something, or see what I can find. Maybe there's some new flora that I've never seen before.
Perhaps, Sariel will appear if you wish to speak with her. I will be in trance, channeling life into this land for quite some time, so perhaps you could stay and accompany me and speak to her on our behalf.
Sounds good.
Shouldn't Duran stay though? I mean, Horatio, we should really check out some other places.
Understanding what Monaco's doing is like, yeah, you're right. Duran can notice things better than I can anyways. It's dark out here. What do you say, Duran?
I would be more than happy to guard King as King guarded me in the high magic districts.
Well, there you go. It's settled then. Should we go see what we can find, Monaco, Cal?
I do not wish to mislead you. The ritual will take me 8 hours to complete, so we will be spending the evening in the woods, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.
I cannot think of better company to spend with in the woods for 8 hours.
All right.
Yeah, let me just say one last thing to the Stone of Kelemvor before leaving.
All right.
It's on our way out. I just need a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything that you wish me to, or Duran, to say to Sariel? Is there something you wish to communicate or give? Do you want to leave me a vial of your blood, Horatio?
Haha. No, but you could find out what's that deal with the blood ritual.
I will certainly try, but I do not think the secrets of the blood will come so easily. Druids are tricksy peoples, and we were warned as such, and this is exactly what they meant.
Sounds good. Ready to go, guys? as he looks at Minako and Cal.
Sure.
And we begin to leave and give Cal the time that he needs at the altar.
Wizard Horatio, Monaco, while you're out, is there any way you can also get 2 medics and kits?
Medicine kits. Yeah, okay.
Medkits?
With the bindings and the herbs
Like the
and
bandages
the
and
salves.
stuff.
Yeah, we can pick those up, I think.
I
So
have
great.
one. I have one now. Do you need one? I'm
Oh, not for right now. I'll need 2, so I'll need 1 more.
all right.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Have fun with your ritual.
Thank you.
Come on, Horatio.
Horatio
Yep.
goes, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. And he'll look at Duran and stay safe for both of you.
No worries.
All right, so you all go your separate ways. King and Duran staying inside of the forest of the dust, while Cal, you walk on over to the stone one last time, the stone of Kelemvor. And then, are you joining Minako and Horatio, or are you going your own way? Because you can go your own way if you want.
I don't think it's necessarily the most wise thing to do to split the party even further, but
What would Cal do?
Cal is going to channel divinity and try to. It's usually something he does when faced in combat with a guided strike, but I think with the addition of the vagary that he's going to start doing, he's going to use a soul burst in addition to trying to channel divinity with a guided strike of sorts to take a bullet outside of his revolvers and kind of do what he had practiced a long time ago with the steps of the 7, 13, 48, 22, and throw the bullet up into the air and kind of hope that his faith bends it and guides it into the direction he needs to go to find the order. Or if something, or some sort of materialization on the card happens between maybe some of the dust on the gunpowder, the dust of gunpowder on the card or something. He's just going to try to hold them together, the bullet and the card, and move in those warlike steps that he kind of had come up with that went along with the numbers, activating his vagary and maybe even blinking up into the air and seeing if whenever he opens his eyes, he's pointed and he's facing the direction he needs to go to.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll me a couple checks here.
Yeah, I figured this is going to be a complicated one, but I wanted to work it in such a way that I was going to use the channel divinity, which I don't know how it's going to gain plus 10 to the roll or whatever, because it's more like an attack roll, but
No,
I didn't. Yeah.
Okay, so roll me a performance check and then roll me a wisdom check. You could do both at advantage.
Okay. So first I will do the performance check. That is a 21.
Okay, 21. And now that wisdom check.
That is a 19 for wisdom.
19, okay.
So pretty awesome. I'm happy with both of those rolls.
So you go ahead and you perform the steps trying to invoke the power of Kelemvor. In doing so, you go into your warlike stances and your hard, sharp movements, and lightning begins spinning and zipping around you as it slowly comes from your guns down to your body as you move into each formation. You throw up the bullet. Piece of the electricity shocks off of your finger, pushing the bullet up into the air, almost as if it's being controlled by the magnetism between your electricity and your dances. You begin to dance with the bullet into the air. It begins to spin faster and faster as the residual dust starts to come off and trickle down. As it does, it hits the card that you have out, and when it hits the card and you finally finish your last dance, lightning shoots down, striking onto it. And then everyone within the area, you can hear the thunder that comes from and it strikes directly onto the card. The card itself begins to illuminate and shoots off a projection. The projection itself is large, by a 10 by 10 square, and into it you see is a map leading. And since you know the city so well, you can see that the map leads from where you are now, heading into the Gray District, past 3 houses down a dark street, where it then kind of shifts itself, zooms into a small house that seems to lead somewhere, and after that, it completely disappears.
Huh! It worked! And I land with a hero's pose.
Hearing this, I look over towards Cal. Can I see him? Do I see this?
Cal, well, Cal went way off into the distance, so you cannot see him, but you did see the strike of lightning that came down that illuminated the area, because remember, you're away from King, so you're once again in dim light, so you're relying on Monako to give you guidance. But for a moment, everything gets lightly bright, and you look over and see Cal, where Cal was, and then after the light fades away, you don't see him anymore.
Horatio would immediately throw up dancing lights and illuminate a path for himself. And he's like, "Should we go check on him, Monako?"
I mean, sure.
And he would start making his way towards Cal.
Okay. You all begin walking over towards Cal, and Cal, you see your allies come before you. You both see the symbol of the scales that Cal's in front of, the stone statue.
You all right?
Feel really good, actually. But
It's always so loud when you do that.
I'm sorry, Monako. I didn't mean to scare you.
All right, well.
Kelemvor has pushed me in a direction, and I must see it through. Can you two make it on your own?
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem, man. I mean, we're just a message away with our communication device.
Of course. And I'll check in as soon as I see this through.
Are you gonna be okay going it alone? You don't have to, you know. We are here for you.
I appreciate that, but I think this is something I have to do alone. I know this city fairly well, though, for where I have to go.
Where are you going? You could just give me a vicinity. It doesn't have to be an exact location. But if we don't hear from you,
I'll be in the Gray District.
It's good enough. Alright, so I guess we'll head out. And
Should I meet you in the Light District in a few hours?
We'll meet back up at the mansion.
Yes, perfect.
And if we don't hear from you, we're gonna come looking.
Thank you.
Alright. And Horatio does a gesture for Monako to go ahead, and the dancing lights follow as well.
Okay, and the two of you head off, leaving one direction as Cal, you leave in the other, following your memory of the map towards the Grey District to figure out what's going on with Ulathar and this Order of Kelemvor. Meanwhile, King Duran, you are alone. After hearing that strike of thunder, it fades off, and you see in the distance, because you can all clearly see in the darkness, because you're elves, them walking off, leaving after that little altercation or interaction. What are
Duran's
you two
gonna brain chat and ask, "What was that?"
Don't worry, Duran. It was just me. I was getting close with Kelemvor.
Always so flashy, Cal. Understood.
Try to be a little quieter next time. It seems I disturbed everyone.
And with Cal, Monako, and Horatio leaving the forest, King and Duran, you're left there on your own, sitting in the forest in this mausoleum for the old gods. We will take a break and return after this.
Yay, break.
Yay.
Ooh, that was such a good session.
Good first half, guys.
Hey there, Dungeon Delvers. Thank you for listening. I would like to take this time to thank all of the wonderful people who helped bring Descent into the Void, a tale of D20s to life. Starting with Frank Freire, who designed our character art, Kyle Misko, who collaborated on the main, mystical, and night theme songs, Manuel Lapuca, who collaborated on our battle and adventuring theme song, Jan Rosa for the use of their original soundtracks, David Chappell for the use of his End of Silence, A World of Color soundtrack, MFY for the use of their Dragon Castle Symphony for Duran's theme song, and Danny.Phantom.01 for creating the Liberators' full art. You can find more about these wonderful artists on our website, ataleofd20s.com. Now click on to part 2, and let's continue our epic tale.